So usually I prefer to speak Singlish. Like if I were to speak to my brother, it'd be in Singlish. And then if I turn around and talk to an American, then I try to put on this accent that I put on now so that people can understand me. But so what would be cool is, if I had another Singaporean next to me, I could speak to them in Singlish, and then you'd be able to hear like what it's like, how it's different. But there are a couple of common phrases that we say in Singlish that I could maybe try translating to give you a feel for what it's like. So for example, if I wanted to say, so where do you want to go? In English, in Singlish I'd say, so go where? So I just like cut out a lot of the words to give the same effect, really. Or if I wanted to say, so how should we do this? Or so what should we do now? I would say, so how? So it's kind of, that's why I say it's kind of like an efficient way of speaking English, where you cut out the things that are unnecessary and you just keep the stuff that like captures the main meaning. There are a couple of words that we slot into our sentences, like at the end of our sentences, that we use a lot. So for example, one of these words is la. Like it's just like la. So like say, for example, I just say no la instead of saying no. I'd say no la. Or I'd say instead of saying yeah, I'd say ya la. And I think that's one of the things that that people notice the most because we use it the most. So visitors who come to Singapore notice it, and they try to like to see if they can adopt that and to see if they can speak Singlish. But I think that's like trying to speak Singlish, like Singlish 501 is knowing how to say la, because you have to add it into your sentence the right way for it to sound correct. And so that's why only a true Singaporean knows how to add that in or to speak Singlish. But missionaries who come to Singapore like sometimes get a feel for it and know how to add it into their sentence. And other common phrases, like if I want to say something is really deep, I'd say it's really chim. I don't really know where like all these words come from. Some of these words are like Malay words. Some of them are like Cantonese or like different Chinese dialects, whereby we just slot them in. And I think how it started was probably when people first migrated from, say, China to Singapore, or came from like India or Malaysia to Singapore. Like they didn't speak super good English, and so they just put other native words into the English, and that's how Singlish kind of evolved. But I think if you get used to like listening to people speak, you can really pick up the gist of what everyone's saying, because it's really like 99-98% English. Yeah, it's kind of hard to explain. You gotta like hear it. It's a little bit like Pidgin for people who know Pidgin. Yeah.